Have you ever smiled to hide how tired you are? Not just physically tired, soul tired, tired of holding it together, tired of being strong, tired of pretending you're fine when you're absolutely not. But you smile anyway, at work, at family dinners, in the grocery store when someone asks how you're doing. You smile because that's easier than explaining, easier than being vulnerable, easier than risking that people might not know what to do with your truth. People see your grin, but not the heaviness inside. They see you functioning. They see you showing up. They see you laughing at jokes and participating in conversations and seeming totally normal. What they don't see is the tightness in your chest that never goes away, the exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, the weight you're carrying that has nothing to do with physical objects, the performance you're giving every single day just to get through without anyone asking too many questions. You keep saying, "I'm fine," even when your chest feels tight. How are you? "I'm fine." Big smile, quick redirect. Change the subject, keep it light. Don't let them see the cracks. "I'm fine" has become your default answer, your shield, your way of protecting other people from having to deal with your reality. Because if you're honest, if you actually tell them how you're really doing, what then? They might not know what to say. They might feel uncomfortable. They might try to fix it when you don't need fixing. You just need to be heard. So you say, "I'm fine," and you smile, and you keep moving, and the heaviness just gets heavier. Let me tell you something about what happens when you do this for too long. You've carried so much weight alone. Not because you're strong, though you are. Not because you're handling it, though everyone thinks you are. But because you've been too afraid to put it down, too afraid to ask for help, too afraid to admit that you're not actually fine and you haven't been for a while. You've convinced yourself that you have to carry it alone, that asking for help makes you weak, that other people have their own problems and you shouldn't burden them, that if you just keep pushing through, eventually it'll get lighter. The weight of the performance, the weight of the smile that costs you everything. And here's what nobody tells you. It's okay to admit it. Not "it's okay" in the Instagram inspirational quote way. I mean really okay. Like genuinely, you're allowed to stop pretending. You're allowed to tell someone you're not fine. You're allowed to drop the mask, even if it's just for 5 minutes. You're not weak. You're human. Weakness isn't struggling. Weakness isn't needing support. Weakness isn't admitting you can't do it all alone. Weakness is pretending you're fine until you break. Weakness is refusing help because you're too proud to admit you need it. Weakness is carrying weight until it crushes you instead of putting it down while you still can. Vulnerability is strength, not a flaw. It takes more courage to say "I'm not okay" than it does to smile and say "I'm fine." It takes more strength to be honest about your struggle than it does to hide it. It takes more bravery to ask for help than it does to suffer in silence. But we've been taught backwards. We've been taught that vulnerability is weakness, that needing people is failure, that if you can't handle everything on your own, you're not strong enough. That's a lie. And it's a lie that's keeping you isolated, exhausted, and pretending your way through a life you're barely surviving. So let's talk about what actually needs to happen. Not eventually, not when you're ready, today. Reach out today. Text, call, write. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if it's messy or awkward, or you don't know the right words. Just reach out to one person and tell them the truth. Not the whole truth if that's too much. Not your entire life story. Just one truth. One thing you've been carrying alone that's too heavy. Share one truth you've been holding in. I'm not actually okay. I've been struggling and I didn't want to say anything. I'm exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't fix. I'm lonely even though I'm never alone. I'm scared and I don't know what to do. One truth. That's all. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to make it smaller or more palatable. Just say it. And then, this is important, let them respond. Don't immediately backtrack. Don't follow it up with, "But I'm fine, really," or "Sorry for dumping that on you." Let your truth sit there. Let it be real. Let them hold it with you. Someone will listen. Not everyone. Some people won't know what to do with your honesty. Some people will be uncomfortable. Some people will try to fix it or minimize it or change the subject. But someone will listen. Someone will sit with you in it. Someone will say, "Thank you for telling me," or "I'm here," or "Me too." And that someone is worth finding. Someone will care. More people care than you think. More people have been waiting for you to be real with them than you know. More people have noticed you're struggling, even behind the smile, and haven't known how to ask. Your honesty gives them permission to care. Your vulnerability creates space for connection. Your truth lets them see you, and that's what you've been missing, being seen, not just watched. You deserve to be seen and heard. Not the performance version of you, not the "I'm fine" version, the real version, the tired version, the struggling version, the version that needs support and doesn't have all the answers and is just trying to make it through the day. That version deserves to be seen. That version deserves to be heard. That version deserves people who don't need you to be okay all the time. No masks, no pretending, just honesty. What would your life look like if you didn't have to perform? If you could just be honest about how hard things are without worrying about being too much or too negative or too needy, what would it feel like to stop managing everyone else's comfort with your struggle? To stop shrinking your pain so other people don't have to deal with it? To stop smiling when you want to cry? It would feel like relief, like exhaling after holding your breath for too long, like finally being able to rest because you're not carrying the weight of the performance anymore. Your feelings are valid. All of them, the heavy ones, the messy ones, the ones that don't make logical sense, the ones you think you shouldn't have, the ones you're ashamed of, the ones you've been hiding behind that smile. They're valid, they're real, they're yours, and they deserve to exist without you having to justify or explain or apologize for them. Let them out today. Not all of them, not to everyone, but to someone. Let one feeling out. Let one truth exist in the open instead of hidden behind your smile. Stop protecting other people from your reality. Stop making yourself smaller so they're more comfortable. Stop performing so well that nobody knows you need help. Let someone in. Let someone see. Let someone care. I need to ask you something, and I need you to think about it before you answer. Who do you wish you could be honest with? There's someone. Maybe it's your partner who you're afraid will think you're falling apart. Maybe it's your best friend who seems to have it all together and you don't want to burden them. Maybe it's your mom who you've been protecting from knowing how hard things really are. Maybe it's a therapist you haven't called yet because admitting you need help feels like admitting defeat. Who is it? Who's the person you wish you could tell the truth to? Type their name below, or if you can't say their name, type the relationship. My mom, my partner, my friend, myself. Because sometimes just naming who we wish we could be honest with is the first step to actually being honest with them. Sometimes just admitting, "I wish I could tell my dad how much I'm struggling," opens the door to actually having that conversation. And maybe, just maybe, your courage could help someone else open up. When you comment, when you name that person, someone else reading it realizes they have that person too. They realize they're not the only one carrying this weight alone. They realize they're not the only one hiding behind a smile. And maybe your honesty gives them permission to be honest too. Maybe your vulnerability creates space for their vulnerability. Maybe your truth helps them tell their truth. We're all in this together. All of us hiding behind smiles. All of us saying, "I'm fine," when we're not. All of us carrying weight alone because we're too afraid to put it down. All of us waiting for permission to stop pretending. So here's your permission. Stop. Drop the mask. Tell one person one truth. Today. If you're tired of performing, if you're ready to be seen, if you need permission to stop saying, "I'm fine," subscribe. We're building something here where honesty matters more than the performance, where you don't have to smile to belong. Drop their name or relationship in the comments. Subscribe. Let's stop hiding together. Tonight, send that text, make that call, write that email, tell one person one truth. You don't have to keep smiling through this. You're allowed to be real.